Live from the hose aisle of your local home improvement store, it's Malignant Bear, featuring me, JD Grossmitz. Hello everyone, and welcome to the stream. Tonight we're back after a break with Powerwash Simulator. Played this game before, and I can attest to the description in this stream that this is the most addictive game ever made. To the point where I had intended to check out the new content on stream, and was like, I better make sure it runs first. And a couple hours later, I cleared all the new content. Thankfully, you can redo any stage you want, which is good, because then we can just pick the best ones. So, we're going to use this like we did last time, and we'll talk a little bit about the game itself, but for the most part, I'm just going to use this as a chatting stream to talk about some kind of general things. It's just stuff that's been on my mind. I don't know. Nothing like serious or bad. Just I don't know. Sometimes it's nice to vent, whatever it might be. Anyway, but again, nothing serious. You know, like, oh, heard some new games got announced, and you know, talk about some stuff that I watched on TV and yada yada yada. Nothing super exciting. But yeah, Powerwash, late spring cleaning, because it's still technically spring for a little bit at least. In some parts of the world, I think. It feels like it shouldn't be because Memorial Day happened, and that's when most Americans at least consider the start of summer. But no, it's still technically spring. For a little bit, I think. Actually, wait, when is first day of summer? The 21st. Okay. Yeah, we've got plenty of time. Not a whole lot of time, like less than 3 weeks. So anyway, that means we definitely have to get to our spring cleaning. You know? Makes sense. So, and just like last time we did some spring cleaning, I have some wonderful music, courtesy of Riot Games, playing in the background. That's pretty neat. Also neat is Powerwash Sim. Looks like this. So, we're the black bear. I went with the flower because it's still spring, like I said. Yeah. So let's see. New in career mode. Nothing, because I've done it all. Nothing in progress either, also because I've done it all. But completed everything because I've done it all. Let's see, at some point they added what was it? The subway platform. That was a big one that took a long time. The fortune teller's wagon, that was very intricate and pretty cool. The ancient statue, that one was kind of boring, and the stunt plane, also nothing super exciting. I still think either the Ferris wheel or the treehouse were possibly the two longest and most complicated ones. I will not redo the treehouse, actually. That was how in-depth that was. And same thing with the Ferris wheel. I don't think I would ever do that one again. They changed it recently so that you can get money for doing jobs you've completed already. Like if you go in free play mode and do them again, you can still get a little bit of money. I've gotten a lot of bit of money, which you can use in the shop. Somewhere. There it is. Have all the power washes unlocked, so I don't need it for that. Which means the only thing that the money is good for now is modifications for said power washers. So cosmetics. There is no purchasable DLC. It's just literally changing the look, and then changing the look of you. You can't ever actually see yourself except for in the replays, or if you're in multiplayer, obviously. So, I purchased the purple outfit to verify that was in fact the case. And it's in different gloves too. So, but yeah, free play. You can see there's a whole bunch. Everything is in free play, obviously. And there's challenge modes. I'm not crazy about them in this game. But specials. When the game launched, the Mars rover was the only special that was in it for a long time. And the most recent update added the gnome fountain, the mini golf course, and the steam locomotive. This one was, frankly, boring, the gnome fountain. There's a running joke where there's a gnome hidden in every level, just like there's the cat, whatever his name is, I can't remember. There's some story in this game. But the cat makes an appearance in every level. But they did a fountain. There was nothing but gnomes. I thought it was too big for just how samey it was. I don't know. Mini golf course was exciting and interesting and cool. This is the one we're going to do today. And then I like the steam locomotive as well, but it's fairly short and kind of tedious. Because it's relatively quick until you get to the little fiddly bits around the wheels, and then that took forever. So, mini golf course, perfect for spring. We're in that time of year. You might go and do some castle putt-putt, or mini putt. With any of the challenges, you have set things that you can use on them. Thankfully, this one gives us one of the most powerful washers to do this with, which is good. So you'll just get details of how much you earn from everything. So again, we've completed this already, but we're going to do it again. We even get some cleaning liquid for this one. Exciting. As far as I know, the 3 new challenge courses, levels, what do they call them? Specials? Okay. These were made by the community. And it kind of shows, kind of doesn't. It's... This, like, they're a little bit more imaginative, at least this one. The mini golf course in particular, I think, is more imaginative than some of the other stuff that's in the game. But it has some issues. Like, there's some areas that it's like, why did you separate those into separate objects to clean? And then there's other ones where it's like, why didn't you separate that? So, we'll see. Restart the job. Confirmed. They also added a new feature, or at least I think they added it. I don't know if it was in here before. So normally, to clean, you're moving your whole body around, and boy, is that kind of motion sicky. They added this. It's called aim mode, and you clean by doing this. So your head stays still until you get to the periphery of the screen, and you just move the power washer around. What a novel idea. Alright, so we gotta start off very, very basic here. 40 degrees it's too big. We're losing too much power there. So we want to start off with this one. Nice 25 degrees here. This is a good blend of space and power for cleaning. That is terrible. The fact that I thought that and was like, power gaming, this game about power washing, proves that I've gotten old. I've thought about this. Obviously, Malignant Bear is a glam rock band. Glam rock isn't really a thing anymore, so that right away should clue you into the fact that we might be a little older. I know I still sound so youthful, but it's all a ruse. Or something. Oh boy, this is filthy. Look at this. Not for long. This powerful cleaning solution here. Ooh, that first satisfying ding as we've completely cleaned something. That's why you play this game. That noise. Oof. When we're feeling down, just pump that into my ears. Great. Just great. So yeah, I was on vacation for a little bit. Had a nice little break from streaming. Did a little bit of traveling. Nothing too crazy this year. Last year I went to the beach. That was nice. Didn't go this year. Maybe next time. Did some staycation things instead. That's a phrase that people use at times. Actually, what we should do is this is totally clean now, right? I think. Entrance pillar, entrance arch. Yeah. Okay. All right. Good. I want to put this not here. That's forever going to be one of my biggest complaints about this game, is once you pick up any of the equipment that's in the levels, you can't like put it back down on the ground. It's just always going to be here now. So I was going to say what we should do next is actually go through the entire course. So we've started out, we've confirmed that it works, that we can clean. So, mini golf, for those who don't know, it's like golf, but mini. It's basically just putting greens. Usually you go and you rent little clubs like this, and they give you one ball to start with, and then you go through and you start here and you try to putt through all these wacky obstacles and crazy looking things to get to the end. There's a couple holes, so there's the first one. Some little houses, you can putt through them, and of course through the windmill. And if this game had better physics, this would be on and would be a massive pain. Come up here into the the cave, some sort of pirate cave. It looks like. Just some quick cleaning as we go. Filthy, filthy, filthy. But yeah, the pirate cave is here, of course. Mini golf is just inherently whimsy. If you're whimsical, I should say, not whimsy would be the noun. Looking for the adjective. But yeah, mini golf is just like inherently whimsical. If you're ever at a mini golf place and it's not like silly, leave. You're not at a good mini golf place. What are you doing there? It's probably unsafe, actually. You know, just not a good place to be. These coins are kind of a pain. I remember this being terrible before as well. There we go. Okay. All right. Enough of that. We can. Yeah. So we'll just keep this on as we go. So here we have the dragon, obviously. So it looks like you would start here, shoot the ball up. It would go through the dragon all the way through. I'm sure that's someone's kink. All the way through the dragon, and then out here to the hole. And hole 4 here. Start here, go up over this. Curve around, go under, and then past the snake and into the hole. This one's kind of boring, actually, isn't it? Oh, yeah. Snake, though. Everybody likes snakes. Snake! 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 No, he just looks happy. Isn't that great? He also looks dirty, and I can't find the last piece of dirt. There we go. Okay. But yeah, while I was off, away, busy, doing other things, put out some videos. Is this hole 5? Yeah, okay. So we go through there, all the way through there, and... Ooh. Got a ramp it, that's exciting. Yeah, we had a little bit of a theme going, unintentionally. First we did Super Blood Hockey, because the hockey playoffs are happening right now. And I made fun of the Oilers, and then of course they ended up making it to the conference final. But, I dislike the Oilers because they have squandered entirely too many first overall picks. And they're probably going to with McDavid. Don't get me wrong, McDavid is a good player. He is absolutely carrying that team, kicking and screaming every year into the playoffs. No one on that team, including him, can play defense. So, and as was proved the other night, when the first game between the Oilers and Avs, where the Avalanche won 8-6. That's a very high-scoring game. Well, this would be a tough one. But yeah, so we did Super Blood Hockey first. Fun little game, for sure. There's not a whole lot of hockey games on PC. I suspect there's about to be a few more, though. As of this morning, EA showed off the new Madden. Of course, you know, milking the fact that he died recently. He's all on the cover and everything, and you could play as John Madden Edition. Just, you know, because leave it to EA to do that. But I'm sure it'll still be full of microtransactions and all that. But for the first time in a very long time, maybe even ever, I don't know, it's actually coming out on Steam, which is interesting. So, but yeah, so maybe there'll be more hockey games on Steam if the actual NHL series comes out to it. I would for sure play that on stream. We'd get copyright struck immediately, but I would do it. But anyway, Super Blood Hockey was fun. And then I wanted to do V Rising, that early access vampire survival game, because I'd been playing it and I thought it was kind of neat, so we did that. And I thought that was a kind of fun transition that, you know, blood would bring vampires. So Super Blood Hockey, summoned vampires. That tracks. And V Rising's good. It's interesting. I don't normally like early access survival games. I've said that many times. I think it's an overdone trend. That there's just lots of them. People usually crap them out, and it's like just, you know, stock store assets with some bare bones survival mechanics. And the true fun in them is not the game itself, but rather the fact that, you know, when a new one launches, everybody who's into those games plays it for a little bit, and so you can have a lot of fun just with an active community in that game for, you know, maybe a month until the next one launches, and then inevitably none of them ever get finished. So there's just a graveyard of like half-finished early access survival games. Not even half-finished, most of them don't even get that far. But of crappy early access survival games. So I think V Rising will actually, you know, finish. It's in a pretty good state already. There's a lot of content in it, and it's enjoyable. I wouldn't have covered it if I wasn't interested in it. We don't like to trend chase with what we do with Malignant Bear, obviously, because we're a glam rock band. It should be obvious we don't care about trends. But even for gaming, I wouldn't, like, you know, buy a game and then put out a video on it if I didn't like it. And I'm not afraid to refund something if it's not good, especially something that I've paid full price for. If it's, you know, cheap little indie games, then even if I didn't enjoy it, I'll just eat the cost, because I like to support indie devs. Especially if it's like something I didn't enjoy but I could at least appreciate, you know? I'll always do that. But yeah, again, just V Rising was good enough to warrant me playing it, putting out a video on it, and I'm still messing around with it a little bit off stream, so it's fun. I just hope that Dev Studio can keep up with it. It's the same people who did Battle Right, and I liked that game despite the fact that it died. I thought it did some neat things. It's just a shame it was in such a crowded genre. It never really had a chance. So yeah, mini golf, yeah. Hole 6, okay. 7, boy, what the... This is wacky here, so you'd have to bank it up over there, down there, over there. I'm pretty bad at golf. Slick Watts is pretty good at golf. One of our guitar players. He appeared in the Hockey Talk video last year. He's living in the woods now or something. I think that's what he said. Whatever his excuse was. He's around, I still talk to him. Still plays guitar. For this one, is it? You would start here and then bank it up off that into here. That's... wow. Impressive. But yeah, so we did V Rising. It's gonna be one of those streams. Did V Rising, and it was fun. So just 2 videos for last week, and then on this Tuesday I did Crying Suns. And it's basically FTL, which I'm totally fine with. That one was recommended by Constantine. It sort of fit the theme of, like, we died from vampirism, and then sad, people were sad. Huey was sad because he couldn't ride my coattails and just eat eucalyptus leaves anymore. And yeah, Crying Suns was good. I realized I forgot to mention in the video that it actually has a like a phone app version, which is cool. I like that. I like when there's like actual games on phones. And I especially like when it's like actual games without microtransactions. And you can just play them and, you know, pay a couple bucks and you play it and you get the full experience. You don't, there's no pop-ups of like, get the starter pack, it's a great value, and any of that crap. So yeah, Crying Suns, it's like it's on my Android and it just works. It's cool. There's no pop-ups, no microtransactions. It's just a video game. Why can I not clean this? Yeah, try to get away from me now, dirt. But yeah, that's what we put up while I was gone. We were going to do a karaoke cover. I just wasn't happy with how it was sounding. I will say it was going to be Call Me Maybe. Because I love that song. Everyone loves that song. Everyone should love that song. If you say you don't, I'm immediately distrustful of you. That song is like, it's a really good litmus test when you're just like out and about. If you're ever somewhere and that song comes on and like nobody is vibing with it, leave. Just leave. You are not in a safe place. I don't know what's wrong, but just something is. Everybody loves that song, or they should. But yeah, I was not happy with how it was sounding. I tried at different keys, different tempos and everything else, and just... I think because the problem is that it's a feel-good song to sing with a whole group of people. So even if I was singing it fine, I wasn't capturing the vibes that I wanted it to. And that's what was killing me with it. So wait, is that dirt? No, okay. That's dirt though, I see that. Yeah. But yeah, so we didn't do that. In general, we haven't put out too many songs lately. Some silly ones where I really don't care what they sound like. They're just meant to be bad. And in general, I mean, that's part of the bit. But I feel like I can be doing better with them, and I'm not, and it's aggravating me a little bit. So I don't want them to just all be jokes, but at the same time, it's hard to do what I want to do seriously. I do actually have some singing talent, obviously, in the lead singer of a band, but most of my singing ability comes from the fact that I'm capable of projecting quite loudly and putting full force behind notes and everything, which I'm well aware is terrible for you. I've no qualms about that. I know we shouldn't do that, but and that's a little hard to do in an apartment when you have neighbors. If I'm, in a studio setting or at a concert or something, that's different. You can do that, and audio engineers can help you and all that. But screaming into the void, quite literally, at home alone is a little different. So we'll see if we can maybe fix that. But yeah, so no song covers, unfortunately. It's a shame. I had a pretty clever thumbnail for it, and spent a couple hours even like attempting it, and just didn't pan out. Such is life. Look at this dirt hiding under these eaves. Gross. How would you let your mini golf course get this dirty? I say that, but I haven't washed my car in like a year. And the last time I did wash it, I was like, never again, because it just got filthy immediately afterwards. Pointless. I'm not trying to impress anybody, at least not with my car. Maybe with other things, but not with that. But yeah. Clean. Obviously, we have not seen the last hole yet. We have to go up to the top for that. And we'll get there eventually. Sometimes it's just nice to take a little break, though, which was good to take a little break from streaming, get away from the computer, go touch some grass, as they say. Always nice to do that. So, I did actually literally go out and touch grass. I did some hiking. That was fun. I would recommend that to anybody. It's a nice pastime. Always wear appropriate clothing, though. Do not want to get bit by a tick. At least if you're in North America. They have ticks in Europe? Or other places? I don't know. They probably do now. Here's the last hole, though. Only 9 holes in this mini golf course. And it's a castle with a gnome inside. So the point here is you would start here. Go through the ramparts here. Up and over through this little thing. There's the king. A frog. Over this ramp. Through the castle itself. We can't go through there. And then at the end of most mini golf courses, you have where the final hole goes all the way back to the beginning, so that then the office gets the ball back. That's how they know you're done, and then you go back to them and return your club, and then you're done. Some mini golf courses, if they're fun, they have like a little thing where it's like, if you finish the hole in a particular way, you get some sort of prize or something, or maybe even a discount on whatever your fee was. So like with this one, for example, you can go through here, or you could go in the moat, I guess, and just avoid that entirely, which is pretty interesting. So cool. Mini golf is fun. I haven't done it in a while. Really should. You know what else is fun though? Power washing. Oh my god. I don't know if YouTube fixed their whatever issue they were having before. We've left it on sub mode, but pretty lenient at that. So just in case. Music slaps. We've listened to it before. They need to put out more of these. But I am a fan. Lo-fi beats is always good. Let's see here. I have asked some of the other band members for some more original music. Let's see what happens with that. But note that I asked them because I'm not talented enough to do that myself. They are actual musicians in the band, but not me. So anytime you're cleaning, I think I mentioned this last time we played. Just want to start from the top, work your way down. The idea being that, you know, the dirt would run down if this game had, you know, realistic physics and stuff. That would be crazy if they added that. Do I need the ladder for this? I'm like 1000% sure I did this before. How far away we picked up the ladder from? That's wacky. There we go. Okay. So we're gonna switch to just the 15-degree nozzle, just for up here. So we want to be very precise, make sure we're getting everything. Nice and clean. So the entire castle was just one big thing. Which means we can use some cleaning liquid on it. And this is all-purpose cleaner. So what this does is this is a wide area of effect and kind of a shorter range. So I want to use the short extension here just so we get a little bit more range on it. So we want to loosen up all this crap because there's a lot of little crevices and nooks and crannies here. Most of the game I've completed without cleaning liquids, but when it gives it to me for free, I would be stupid not to use it. So, especially once you have the higher level washers, you really don't need this. It's a crutch. Just gotta get good at cleaning. So this week is Skulls for the Skull Throne, which is the big Warhammer event. We play a lot of Warhammer games on the channel. Some of the band even collects Warhammer models and paints. Oh, collects. I guess it's collecting. We'll call it collecting. Some of the band actually plays tabletop Warhammer. I'm not one of them that does. I don't have the time for that. I think it's cool, but yeah. Obviously, my time-wasting activity is what you're seeing here. It's just not like I have any room to talk. But yeah, it's Skulls for the Skull Throne, which is the big Warhammer thing, where all the Warhammer-related properties, so Fantasy, 40k, and Age of Sigmar, they're all the games related to them are all on sale, and Games Workshop promotes new ones coming out, and I think they have sales on like the tabletop figurines and things as well. But the big announcements from that, because there's always announcements with it too, of course. Yes, is the company behind, what is it, Focus Interactive? They're making a boomer shooter called Bolt Gun, which I'm excited about. So an old school, 90s shooter, very bare bones, in terms of like mechanics and aesthetic. But I think 40k is perfect for that. Because it's just going to be ultra violent and fun, and that's what you need in 40k. It's supposed to be over the top. That's the fun of the setting, is that it's just dumb. there's no other word for it. It just is dumb, in the best ways though. I say that out of love, because I know people will be like, JD, why are you hating on Warhammer? I'm like, no, I like Warhammer. I like it for what it is, because I recognize what it is. It's supposed to be goofy. But yeah, Bolt Gun, that looks pretty cool. Owlcat Games, the devs behind the Pathfinder video games. There's two of them now. They're making a 40k CRPG called Rogue Trader, which I'm very interested in. I played the first Pathfinder. I didn't complete it because it was almost too much game. And it's one of those games where like one of the main mechanics is a time-based kind of thing, which not crazy about. Wait, did I get the border already? How did I? That doesn't make any sense. Okay, whatever. But yeah, it's one of those things where it's like the main mechanic in it was like time, and that always kind of bothers me in games because I feel like I'm gonna miss out on things, and then I end up missing out on things because of that, if that makes any sense. But I could recognize it as being a very good game. Just maybe not a good game for me because of how I feel about that mechanic. But I'm excited to see what they do with the 40k license. 40k could use in general could use some better video games, but a good CRPG set in the grimdark of the 41st millennium would be pretty rad. What else? Space Marine 2, that got teased, which I knew it would be considering that they, out of nowhere remembered that they had the license and put out that HD remake. So I figured they weren't just going to do that. which is good, because that game was also over the top and silly and fun, as it should have been. You really did feel like a Space Marine. So I'm glad to see that they're actually going to, you know, do something with it. Turn it into a series. And Immortal Empires, the big full everybody campaign for Total Warhammer 3. Got teased as well, Summon the Elector Counts. I'm very much looking forward to that. That game still needs quite a bit of work. Let's be real. But God, is the potential there. I think the most frustrating thing is that it's still in a worse state than Warhammer 2 was, Total Warhammer 2. So something happened in the development of that game. I don't know what, but something happened. There's no way it didn't. You know, maybe we'll know someday when people leave Creative Assembly and, you know, give their tell-alls or whatever in their exit interviews. But I'm just glad that it's more in the right direction, because it's an incredibly ambitious and fun series. And it's for sure the best Warhammer Fantasy game that we'll probably ever get. Don't get me wrong, I love me some Vermintide, but Total War is just, that's something special. Speaking of Vermintide, that got a big update with some more content for the roguelike mode, the Chaos Wastes. I did debate on playing that today. We might do that next week. And then also Darktide, the 40k version of Vermintide, got an official release date of September, and is available for pre-order now too. I'm excited for that game. That's a day one play. For sure. Normally I'm like against pre-ordering games, but I know the level of jank that Fat Shark, the devs, are going to put in it, and I'm accepting of that. And I really want to play it. Like I said, there just needs to be more and better Warhammer video games of all types, except Age of Sigmar. But of the other types, there needs to be more and better Warhammer games. Alright, so we've cleaned. God, this stuff is in here. What happened here? Doing some work here in this castle. That's what we want. Clean this green a little bit. Nice. Haven't heard that ting in a while. That was good. Just the dopamine we need to keep going. Alright, I have to go for a smaller nozzle for this. I feel like we're missing some stuff in here. Can't tell if we're getting it or not. Like the little bits kind of behind the ramparts here. It's hard to reach. I did meet up with some of the band members, which was good. Hadn't seen some of them in a while. In real life. And sometimes when there's like groups of streamers, you know, they like record their like interactions with each other, or like they'll stream together from like a single place. Like everybody will like get on the same mic, like it'll be like one perspective, but like everybody's there, you know, which is cool, I guess, but I didn't want to subject them to that. I think streaming's just interesting. There's lots of things that people can do with it, stuff like that. I think it does open some new avenues for entertainment on both ends in terms of like what entertainers and content creators can do, and then what audiences can find, what your niche can be, what you can like. Which I think is very cool. It's one of those things that even though at the time of recording this, like obviously we have not, right, an incredibly small channel. There's no hiding that we haven't had success. And not that we have chased it, but it would have been nice to have for sure. But I don't really care about that, just because I think it's interesting to be a part of this, and I'm not just saying that out of like, oh, he's coping. Like, no. Like, I genuinely just think that like streaming and all the stuff behind it and all that is just interesting. Learning how to do all these things, and having the opportunity to share, my enjoyment of video games and other things with potentially other people is cool. I'm glad that exists. Not just for me, but for others. I think that, I've seen lots of things where like people who have, various disabilities and things that can't be an entertainer in other ways have been able to use streaming. And I think just having that opportunity for them is fantastic. Obviously, if you want to chase this as like a career, that's, you can try to do that. It's very hard because it's a very crowded market these days. And it's not just about the streaming. Like, you have to either be very good. Ooh, okay, we gave us that one. That's nice. Okay, I was gonna say, you have to either like be very good. I don't even know that it's that. I think it's more so you have to be discovered. You have to be very good at marketing yourself. Is the main thing. I think it's become like any other thing, for every singer or musician or whatever, that made it big and got a record deal and, had at least one hit song, there's dozens of talents that, remain undiscovered or that never even attempted it. And so it's discoverability is the big thing. And obviously having a boatload of talent makes being discovered easier. It's more likely that, some clip of you will go viral or whatever. And I mean talent in terms of not just gaming skill. I think that's a relatively minor thing. But in terms of like personality, you can be a top whatever player in whatever game you're playing, but if you're boring to watch, you're boring to watch. That's, even if you have good gameplay, like, that can only get you so far, especially again with how crowded the market is. There's guaranteed to be someone who's as good, if not better, and potentially more charismatic. So you need to be multifaceted and then be found. And the ease of being found is directly related to how much effort you put into wanting to be found. Because it's not just about streaming. Streaming is the smallest part of it. At least from what I've heard. That, if you want to make it big and be discovered, the main thing you need to focus on is your other stuff. You need to make those connections, interact with other streamers and stuff. Get them having, sending their fans onto you and things. Build a community that way, and then market yourself on other social media. So, have YouTube Shorts and TikToks and Twitter clips and Instagram and all that stuff. which we don't do at all. And that's not to say that's, you know, that's the reason why we haven't made it big. I mean, that's definitely part of it, but, you know, I'm also well aware that, you know, speaking of the other point of, like, there's nothing super special about our gameplay, nor, you know, anything shockingly charismatic about us or me, so. But again, I don't care. And I genuinely mean that. I really don't care. I wouldn't have kept up this experiment if I did. I think that's been pretty obvious. Again, it would be nice to, you know, maybe have some more eyes on us, maybe have some monies coming in as a result of doing this, if only to kind of pay for itself, you know. But I'm not even hitting the mouse wheel and it's switching. Sometimes this game does that. I should just turn that off in the options. But yeah, like I've said in the past, it would be nice to have, you know, be able to make a couple bucks from this or whatever. But I really don't care. Again, it's royalty, and we don't get royalty checks. Huey takes all this. I was gonna say those royalty checks pay for all this, but no, we've talked about that. Huey doesn't pay us. Sponsorship deals, though, that's... I think that's another interesting thing, and something to awkwardly segue to, is streamers that do, like, the big sponsorship deals, and a lot of them are just kind of awkward. I know there's lots of attention right now on the streamers that are doing, like, gambling stuff, which is just straight up scummy. The main market for streamers is young people. It's young children. Let's not even pretend it's anything else. And to market gambling services and loot boxes and, you know, chance mechanics or whatever you want to call it to them, it's just that's bad, and people have to know it is. That's ridiculous. I get wanting to make money on things, I do, but you know, there's a big difference between, you know, awkwardly putting out your video of, like, Raid Shadow Legends is a thing, and, you know, here's me opening loot boxes for hours. Like, you have to have some morals. At least I think so. I don't know. But again, I'm saying that from someone who doesn't make money from this. We don't make money from this, and we don't really need to. So again, it'd be nice, but I've joked that we would accept any sponsorship, but not those. That's... Glam rock bands have some standard. I know people like gambling. I know that's a big thing, obviously. Especially in sports nowadays. I'm not a fan. I've said multiple times, obviously, that I'm a big hockey fan, as are a lot of other members of the band. Something shared with us, other than the glam rock, is hockey and video games, which I know is cliche. You know, JD, everybody likes sports and video games. Like, yeah, but, you know. But man, it's getting harder and harder to watch sports these days, because it's just like every single ad is some sports book. Every single one. And you can't really watch sports without ads. And just, I think that stuff just kind of preys on people. What did I miss here? Nope. That, maybe? No. This took me a while before when I did this. Because the dirt is like... When you highlight the dirt and it turns that kind of orange color, it's like the same color as the wall. Sucks. There we go. But yeah, there's too much sports betting now, I think. And it preys on people who have like poor inhibitions and things, and you know, they tell you all these deals of like, oh, join our sportsbook and you get, you know, XYZ free bets. And then, you know, you read the fine print and it's like, it's money that stays in the system because they want you to stay in the system. You know, your first hit's always free. Never ever forget, it's free for a reason. And like, I kind of get it, you know, it's the allure of, for one, potentially making money, obviously, without having to do literally any work. You don't even have to watch the games. You just have to pick some things, and then you might make money. And then it adds to the thrill of it, you know, because it's not just like, oh man, my team wins or loses, or my favorite player, you know, scores a point or whatever. It's the, ooh, I might win or lose money. And so I get it from that perspective, but yeah, something that I try to avoid. Just not a fan of how common it's gotten. Alright, I'm going to take a drink since we've ranted about that, and then we'll change topics. It's really raining outside. I realize I should be more careful about saying things like that. I know some streamers, like, people know exactly where they live and all that, which I think is weird. And then some people, like, never mention anything even remotely potentially identifying, which I also get. But, and I'm sure somebody can be like, oh yes, based on the time frame that JD was streaming and the weather conditions, he must live in, like, maybe you might find a large geographic area. Make this nice and clean. This wall took me forever the first time I did this, because I was like almost done with it, and then I realized that it's not just this wall, it's the whole way around. And that was, oh, so frustrating. Okay. A little bit right there. Right. Crap. Where'd that ladder go, anyway? Like the just kind of mishmash of stuff, because I kept getting distracted and cleaning as we worked our way to the top. All these little bits here in between the battlements and like the backside of these bricks. Terrible. Why would you let this get this dirty? Oh my god. I wonder who would shut down a mini golf course if it was too dirty. Not the health department. Unless they served food. Always wondered why there's no, like, adult mini golf courses that have like beer and stuff, you know? But then even just as I was saying that, I was like, that's a terrible idea. People would for sure be hurt and would break things. It's a terrible combo because mini golf itself is just inherently kind of goofy and fun. And then you get drunk on top of that. I guess if you built like everything out of Nerf foam or something, it could work. That's what I'll do. Mulligan barrel open a mini golf course. Built entirely out of Nerf foam. But that was an abrupt song transition. I thought these were supposed to flow. Flow like the water in this power washer. I'm waiting for one of my friends that owns a home, which is apparently a very rare feat these days. I'm waiting for one of them to get a power washer. I'm trying to convince some of them that they need it. So that then we can power wash things for real. That would be fun. It's like this, except you can actually waste the water and break things. And hurt yourself. Don't ever power wash yourself. Oh my god, don't ever power wash yourself. You will go to the hospital. Just full stop. It sounds like such a good idea, but it's not. And I'm not even speaking from experience. I know better. But I know people who don't know better. But yeah, being able to do this aim mode thing, this is great. Just the guns moving, not my full head. I don't know when they added this. I think it was recent. I hope it was recent, because otherwise I played through this entire game without it, and I feel dumb. Maybe I just need a new mouse. It just keeps switching on its own. I for sure, like, wasn't hitting it. I just looked down at my mouse just completely incredulously, because it was... It knows. It's probably got cameras in there. What doesn't? Speaking of things with cameras in... Diablo Immortal came out today. Or not today, yesterday. The game where Blizzard shot themselves in the foot by saying, "Don't you have phones?" They're good at shooting themselves in the foot, especially lately. But that was a pretty serious misstep. But anyway, Diablo Immortal has a neat privacy thing just for the Chinese market, where it is constantly doing facial recognition technology on you. And some people were saying that the global versions of the game also had it, but they do not. But that's terrifying to think about. That your watered-down phone version of Diablo 3 is watching your face the entire time you play, or I guess anything else that's on your camera. I feel like at some point we're going to get to the point where there's phones without front-facing cameras again, just because people want to avoid that. But yeah, as far as Diablo Immortal goes, have not played a Blizzard game in a while, on purpose. But I figured why not, because I have a phone, just like that guy said. Turns out I don't have a very good phone, though, so it barely ran. I will give them credit, though. It's... gameplay-wise, it's not terrible. It feels like Diablo. Feels like Diablo 3. For better or worse. But just on a phone, you know? It plays good with both touch controls and controller. I have one of those Razer something or another controllers that like plugs directly into your phone, so there's like no latency or whatever, and games detect it as an Xbox controller. I have no idea why I bought it, because I hardly ever actually play games on my phone, but it's cool, it does work, and it worked with that. What am I missing on this? The border still has... Oh, there it is. See, you dirt. So I thought I did. No. But yeah, Diablo Immortal, it's, yeah, it does. It feels like Diablo. It looks like Diablo 3. Boy, does it have a lot of microtransactions, though. Oh my god. It is absolutely one of those mobile games that as soon as you finish the tutorial, it's like, buy the starter pack, it's a great value. And the starter pack is cosmetics that are only for one character, which sucks. Especially for Diablo, you want to switch your characters and, you know, try other classes. And then some currency that I was looking up, and apparently the currency is to get variations on the riff system in the game, which they took directly from Diablo 3. So to actually get better and more different riffs, you have to buy the premium currency, which is like the scummiest thing. Yeah. Not that I, you know, I didn't have high hopes for it, but... And that's why I'm giving them some credit for, you know, it does play decently. But, man, those microtransactions, that is... Anytime you're looking at a game in the App Store and it's like, microtransaction prices vary from 99 cents to $99, you know you are in for some shenanigans as far as the cash shop is concerned. And Diablo Immortal was no different. It apparently also has tons and tons of performance issues, even on like high-end phones. People are saying like it just doesn't run on high-end Samsung phones. That they're way above spec to run it. It just doesn't run on them, which is crazy. Whatever. I really hope that Microsoft can right the ship with Blizzard once that acquisition is complete. They've notoriously been very hands-off with their studio purchases, according to literally everybody that has been bought up by Microsoft. I'm hoping this is one case where they won't be, because I want them to be hands-on in terms of righting the ship and getting rid of some of the problems that Blizzard has had for years now. Blizzard has a lot of IPs and games that I really do enjoy, and I think lots of other people do as well. And it's sad to see them being squandered. I didn't even attempt Overwatch 2. I knew I'd just be disappointed. It's in beta, but it had like open beta access, and you could, you know, watch people on Twitch and get access to it. So I didn't care enough to even do that. It's like the most hands-off activity you can imagine. Couldn't be bothered. Based on the fact that already no one is talking about it, I'm probably giving it the most press it's had in weeks. It sounds like I didn't miss much. Courtyard tower turret window cleaned. Courtyard turret cleaned. This would be a fun mini golf course, though. Especially if they had a liquor license. I'm gonna get get some investors and work on that. There has to be a reason why no one's ever done it. Or why at least I've never heard about it. Some major thing that I'm missing. Who knows? Clean, 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 clean. What else? I don't know if I want to talk about this. Something bad, because I was debating doing a video on this, but it's hard to do video on this. So I have a Steam Deck, and I've had one for about a month and a half, and I have not brought it up at all. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. I was struggling with making a video on it and how that would work, because we don't do face cam or anything, and to give a full impression of it, you need to see it, and to see it, you would for sure see reflections and stuff, and, you know, me holding it and all that, like, to give the full view. And, you know, going through the menus, and, you know, then you would see my Steam friends and stuff, and blah, 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 blah. And I was like, I don't know if I can do that, or even want to do that. And then I was like, oh, I could just do a video talking about it, but without showing anything. And I was like, then what's the point? And then I realized I couldn't even give it that good of a breakdown. Like, if you want an honest, like, really serious breakdown of, like, the Linux on it, you're going to find a channel that does that, or, like, a tech breakdown or something, or more about the performance or whatever. So I kind of put the kibosh on that. I thought about doing it the same way as the hand reveal stream. I thought about doing it with the bear gloves from the hand reveal stream. And quickly realized that that was an awful idea. Funny, but very impractical. It's cool though, and it really is cool. I got the highest end model, the one with the, you know, the biggest hard drive and all that, and the anti-glare screen. Mostly because I didn't want to have to pry it open and mess with it if I can avoid it. And I'm glad I got the highest end one. They have all of the same specs, it's just the hard drive size and the screen. But, because boy, if the one I got is the anti-glare screen, the regular ones must be completely unusable. Like, it's bad, it's real bad. In general, I think the screen is probably one of the weakest aspects of it. It's baffling that it's at a 16:10 resolution. So it's not even 720p, it's 1200 by 800. Which just is weird, and is part of a problem, like part of the reason why they've been having issues like getting some games verified on it to, like, you know, work out of the box on the deck, is that some games don't support resolutions that aren't in 16:9. I don't know why they didn't just make it a 720p screen. That would have been much better. Slightly lower resolution too, so things would have run better on it. It would have had better scaling on everything. It's weird. It's a really weird choice. And apparently it's something to do with, like, the screen size that they had to get because of the size of the unit to fit the internals in it, or something. I was reading about it, and even then it didn't make any sense. Like, there's no way you couldn't have gotten a 16:9 screen for the Steam Deck. And I think that would have alleviated a lot of issues. So I know just, what was it, today or yesterday, they announced that the dock for it got pushed back, got delayed. And one of the issues with that was that they keep running into problems where the dock can't upscale. Like the Steam Deck cannot upscale properly when it's plugged in, even with things that like should be able to run fine. That it can't output to like 16:9 resolutions because it's meant to default by 16:10, which is just, again, just stupid. It's cool though, it is cool. A lot of stuff runs pretty well on it, shockingly. I actually started a new game of Elden Ring on it, because I know that was like one of the big kind of early victories that Valve had, was like getting Elden Ring to run on the Steam Deck. And I'm all the way to Leidenhill on a new playthrough of Elden Ring. Played exclusively on the deck and haven't run into any issues, other than the fact that it makes the fans boot up like a Harrier jet. They're loud. They're real loud. Just like this song. 1 second. Turn that down a little bit. Good timing. But yeah, when you're playing like lower end games on the deck, it's not too bad. It handles like older emulation and things just masterfully. And like indie games and stuff, like lower spec stuff, great for that, assuming that it runs on the deck. Again, lots of things just don't, partially because of the weird resolution. But yeah, if even with stuff that's verified, if you're running more recent high-end things, the fans are real loud and it gets hot. So, not like burn your fingers hot, but again, it's noticeable. It for sure is. Just to be expected. There's a lot of tech going on there under the hood to make it work. So, and it does work well. So I will give them credit for that. Again, it's cool to have, you know, a computer that's pretty powerful in that form factor. I know next to nothing about Linux. One of the other members of the band, I took it over to his house and he was messing with it, and showing me the Linux stuff, and it was sorcery to me, but he was very enthused by command line and things. So that's cool. It means that there's a lot of potential for it in terms of what you can do with it, because it runs that Linux operating system and it's all open source. So if you're into that, if you have, you know, the free time to mess with Linux, you can have at it. But yeah. A wise man once said, Linux is only free if your time is worthless. And I think about that often. Because I know some people, that's their main draw for Linux, is that it is free. Which I get. But I think the main draw of Linux should be the fact that you want to tamper and tinker with it and, you know, support open access things and open source and all that. Which means that you need to be able to contribute to that and have the free time to do that. Is this? No. There we go. So yeah, it's cool for that. But I think that's another one of the problems that it has, and something that does have me a little bit worried about it, is Valve's last attempts at hardware was the physical Steam Link, the little boxes, and the Steam controller. And they also were open source in some ways, and Valve abandoned them. And when they did, one of the reasons why they abandoned them was, well, the community will just pick it up. And I'm a little terrified that Valve is going to do that with the Steam Deck. That, like, once the initial batch is out, not initial batch, they're on, what is it, Q3 now? That once, you know, kind of the big batch of people who are interested is out and sales start to slow down for it, that they'll just be like, well, good luck everybody, community, figure this out. Like, any issues with it, we're not providing support anymore, we're gonna go back to avoiding the number 3. So, which of course the retort to that is, well, JD, it's open source, so if they do that, then you can just... That's not the point. I don't want to have to mess with it to make it work. Valve should mess with it to make it work, especially for how much money it was. And of course the other response to that is, well, JD, they're selling it at a loss. Okay. They didn't have to. But no, it's cool. It's a cool piece of kit, and I'm glad I have one. It definitely makes it more interesting to, like, have downtime at stuff, you know? Like, oh, it's a slow day in the office or whatever, in the Glam Rock office where we work. Or, you say you go on vacation and it's like, well, it got rained out at the beach and there's nothing else here. You can play your Steam Deck and not have to worry about, like, having a full laptop or something. And it's appealing to someone like me who has, I have games on the computer as opposed to a Switch where I would have to, rebuy an entire library and things. Whereas with that, I can just, log into Steam, or somebody else could log into Steam on it, Could set it up with, like, family sharing or whatever and do that. And I think that'll be more appealing once the dock issues are worked out and they actually have the physical dock. The correct one. The real one. Obviously you can just get, your own USB-C hub. But even with those, people were saying there's some issues. I couldn't even get mine to work with it. And other people are saying that it still only outputs to, the 16 by 10, the 1200 by 800 or whatever, and just looks terrible on anything. So that's less than ideal. So it still has some kinks to work out. They seem committed to it for now, though, in terms of updates. They've been pushing firmware and, SteamOS versions for it pretty regularly. Which is good, because they need to. But it has me questioning what their QA process was, because there's some stuff with it that it's like, I can't believe no one internally caught this issue, or some, like, just basic quality of life things with it. Like, you can't see your battery life when you're in a game on a handheld with terrible battery life. And of course the obvious response to that is, well, JD, it's Linux, just get something else that'll do that for you. No, I'm sorry, that's basic. Like, if your phone didn't tell you what your battery life was when you were using it, you would complain. You shouldn't have to go hunting for one of the most important things when it comes to a battery-driven device. So yeah, little things like that just whoever they had internally doing QA on it, the fact that didn't come up was weird. And it's made even more weird by the fact that it got delayed. Like, shipping it got delayed quite a long time. And even for when I got mine a month and a half ago, I wasn't in the very first wave. So they had plenty of time to push updates and things. And they really didn't. So I don't know what Valve does. Definitely not fix Team Fortress 2. But again, I'm hoping that they're committed to it for longer term. I did try to play this on it, actually. Because this is one of the games that's verified on the deck, I think. Or, if not verified, it at least worked. And it's cool. It runs. It runs pretty well. I was able to clean things. Sitting in bed, playing this on the Steam Deck. It's the comfiest I'll ever be in my life. I think, what else did I test on it? It is neat that there is a lot of kind of community-driven stuff, again, because it's open source. So, my potential fear with it is off-put by the fact that, you know, people in the community have put work in. They have, you know, custom bindings for games and all that. One of the most interesting, actually, was Civ. And that was cool, like how much it works and interacts with everything on the deck. And it worked well with the Steam controller, and it makes sense because this is using a lot of that same ideas and tech. But I thought that was a cool one, that it recognized that you were playing with something that was a controller, but also had trackpads and touchscreens and everything. So it gave you a lot more options. The flip side is that I've noticed quite a few games that aren't quite sure what the control scheme is. And they'll detect the deck as like keyboard and mouse rather than controller, and then like the controller buttons won't work, or vice versa. And depending on the game you're in, that can be either not an issue or just completely disastrous. So a lot of the games that are like not verified or confirmed not working on the deck, it's because of things like that. And I'm not sure how you would rectify that problem. But again, I hope they do. How are even the tops of these rocks dirty? But not those ones, those are clean. Trying to think what else was cool on it. I tried Grim Dawn on it. That was weird. That was a game that was not verified to work on it. And Grim Dawn's in a weird place because it's like an action RPG, like Diablo, and was originally designed with keyboard and mouse in mind, but later on it got controller support. But it's not sure what it's doing on the deck. And even with messing with it, like using some community profiles and all that, it felt kind of off. And admittedly, again, it's not one of the verified games that's like guaranteed to work without any tinkering. But I thought that would have been a cool one. Obviously, one of the big draws of the deck is the emulation potential for it, because it's powerful enough to run pretty much anything emulated, like up to, what is it? It's like up to the, I think some PS3 games run on it, which is notoriously hard to emulate, and up to the Wii U, and even some Switch stuff runs on it, which probably says more about how weak the Switch is than anything. But how is this so dirty? Okay. And that you have to mess with it a little bit to get the emulators to work, but there's guides and stuff for it online. But yeah, that is a cool feature, having potentially everything emulated on it, in addition to, you know, your full Steam library. And some people have even sideloaded, like, games from GOG on there. I saw a guide the other day of someone with Heroes of Might and Magic 3 on there, and like the actual version that's on GOG, instead of the crappy HD remaster that was out on Steam, that cut a lot of the content and introduced a bunch of bugs and stuff. Thanks, whatever company owns the Heroes license. I think it's Ubisoft. It's probably Ubisoft. That seems like something they would do. What a great game, though. Be even better if you could play it literally anywhere. Turbo nozzle. This one spins around, look at that. Ooh. This is ideal for getting rid of the rust on metal. Everybody knows water is way stronger when it spins. I guess that actually sort of checks out. It's like water spouts are a thing. And hurricanes. There we go. Okay. Did this get cleaned? Yeah, okay. Nice clean rocks now, too. Is that one clean? There we go. Clean around the edges so that we can have some better lines to go off of here. But yeah, it's nice to, like, sit out on my porch with the Steam Deck and play Elden Ring. That's pretty awesome. Also, Elden Ring is, like, way easier the second time through. In a fraction of the time, I'm more than halfway through the game. I've one-shot pretty much every... Oh, not one-shot. One attempted every single boss and stuff. Although I got lazy and I'm doing the exact same build as I was before. When I started, I was like, I'm gonna use magic this time. And then, like 5 minutes into the game, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go find a katana and kill things with bleed. Because it's really broken. It's not broke, don't fix it. I can't wait for them to do some DLC for that game. There's no way they're not going to. It made too much money not to. But even if they don't, I think it's in a pretty good state. It still needs some patches for sure, and they've said that they're still going to work on that as far as I know. Some minor bug fixes and maybe some balance passes. But it seems like it's still probably a shoo-in for Game of the Year, even a couple months later. There hasn't really been anything else major that's come out, which is shocking. I assume this was the time when we would see everything that was, you know, pushed back or had some issues because of the pandemic. Oh, I said the word that YouTube hates. But, and we still haven't. Lots of stuff got pushed back again. That ladder get to? Let's go back up here. Actually, wait. We like totally missed this area. I was trying to clean from the top down and then just forgot. this stuff that's technically higher up. And filthy, absolutely filthy. Not for long. Maybe for long. Smaller objects like this are really hard to clean, which makes sense, but it doesn't mean I have to like it. Come on, keep going, keep going. Saw, was it EA announced a new Star Wars game? They're making another Fallen Order, which is cool. I like the first one. I don't think I liked it as much as some people did. I know a lot of people are like, this is the best Star Wars thing ever, and it's like, and some people are like, it's like Dark Souls with Star Wars. Sorta? It has some of those same ideas, but it doesn't do them as well. At least I didn't think it did. I enjoyed it. Maybe they meant it was like Dark Souls and that the back half of the game is like completely unfinished. Because, boy, did that game have some pacing issues. I also hate that it's a lightsaber game where lightsabers don't act like lightsabers. And I know, you know, that wouldn't be very video gamey if you're just like cutting dudes in half constantly. But when, you know, you have a lightsaber and you're hitting, you know, a space wolf that's attacked you, and it just like bounces off like a wiffle ball bat, that kind of sucks. It doesn't feel right. I can accept it if it's like, yeah, the stormtroopers have special lightsaber resistant armor. Like, okay, they don't, but whatever. I'll accept the video game logic for that. But yeah, when it's like random creatures are just, you know, eating lightsaber slashes to the face and it's not killing them instantly. And I'm not saying that I want, you know, super gritty, you know, ultra-violent Star Wars lightsaber game. Because there wouldn't be blood and guts, it would just cauterize instantly. I think you could make that. Someone should make that. Or I could just go back and play Jedi Academy. I'm just gonna go back and play Jedi Academy. What a great game. I wish there was more and better Star Wars games, though. I can't believe how badly that license has been just squandered. In terms of video games, at least. Obviously, Disney is completely milking it in every other aspect. But, yeah, day one when they purchased that, they should have been on the phone with EA and been like, hey, what are you guys doing? And they finally did. EA does not have the exclusive license anymore, thank God. It should not have taken years for them to make that call. Although Star Wars is one of those things where I feel like people aren't quite sure how to use it as a license. Everybody just wants to make nostalgia bait where you go to, you know, the same couple planets and do the same things and meet the same couple characters, ignoring the fact that it's just like a massive galaxy of potential things, like literally a literal galaxy of things that you can explore and see and do. And instead it's like, what if we went to Tatooine the most boring, crap-filled planet for the billionth time. Like, what if you got to hear that music again? Like, yeah, that's cool. What if not that? What if literally anything else? And that's always going to frustrate me about Star Wars. It has limitless potential, and it's never, ever realized. I want to hear about other things that are in that setting. It doesn't have to be about the Skywalkers and about Jedi and about Sith. And even the time when it was like, you know, Mandalorian was kind of not about that initially. And then it was like, oh no, never mind. Here's Baby Yoda. Which was cool. Like, you know, spoilers for Mandalorian, but you know, I liked seeing some of the old characters return. I guess slight spoilers. I won't say who, but you know, that was nice. I liked seeing that. That was a good, fun thing. But what if it hadn't been that? What if Mandalorian had just been doing Mandalorian stuff without the Jedi? I would have watched that. In fact, I did watch it for one whole episode until he started doing Jedi stuff. Well, not him, but Baby Yoda. And I guess maybe that speaks to Star Wars fans, that they wouldn't accept not Jedi stuff. Maybe they know. Goodness knows Star Wars fans are, interesting? I'm struggling with what word to use with that. No one hates Star Wars like Star Wars fans. So maybe, you know, Disney just knows their audience too well. I'm hoping that's it, I don't know. And that they're not just completely creatively bankrupt. Although I think that's for sure got something to do with it. Let's not pretend it's not. Get out of here. Why can't I? Wait, there we go. I can't drop it now. There we go. Oh my god, we've been going for an hour and a half. We're only 63% done with this. And I thought I was being pretty efficient. I did watch, what was it? Obi-Wan, the first 2 episodes of that? I don't know if there's any more out. It's solid. I like Ewan McGregor. Everybody likes Ewan McGregor. So it's nice to see him as the character again. I like all the people complaining about it, of like, the dialogue's not very good, and like, you know, blah 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 blah. Like, have you seen Star Wars? I like Star Wars, but like, it's not winning any writing awards. It never has and never will. Ever. Let's not even pretend otherwise. I mean, maybe it could. I don't know. But I think that's something that fans need to get over, of like, you know, not everything has to be the best at everything. You can still enjoy Star Wars with its kind of cheesy dialogue. And I realized the irony of saying that right after I was just like, what if Star Wars was more original? it could still be more original with cheesy dialogue. Like, it doesn't... I would accept bad writing if it was at least more original writing. I think that would be fine. And maybe that's the problem with it. Maybe that's why they do unoriginal things. Because then they can pawn off bad writing as just... Well, people just want the nostalgia bait? I don't know. I had a thought there and I couldn't quite formulate it. I know what I was talking about. Maybe it's bad because they know people will accept it as bad. I don't know. I wouldn't be shocked if that's part of it. But again, it's solid. Mostly just because, again, Ewan McGregor. Great actor. What else? What else? Oh my god. I feel like we haven't made any progress at all. Ugh. Should have written down topics that I wanted to cover. I don't know why I didn't. I did last time I did this, actually. A little post-it note on my desk. Classic. I can't tell if the fence is dirty on top. Sort of is. Imagine if you hired a power wash guy or girl or whatever, and they showed up, power wash bear, and they showed up, and to clean your fences, they walked across the top of them like this, like a literal animal. Would you say anything? We'll change. We'll make it easier. If they, assuming they got the job done, like they got it done, it looked good, and it was in a timely manner and everything, would you say anything? Or would you just be like, well, you know, that's, I guess that's their method. I wouldn't say anything. Post about it on social media. No, no, I for sure would. Passive aggressively. Active aggressively? I feel like if it works, who cares, you know? And that worked. That fence is clean now. All of these are about to be clean. Oof. Butterflies. They get a drink while... It's always fun to see if the PNG picks up on my drinking noises, because I don't mute the mic in that program, I just mute it through OBS. I guess I could just mute it through everything. Just hit the button on the mic and do that. That's a lot of work, though. The button on the Stream Deck is so much faster. I have noticed that the mic through OBS is ever so slightly more sensitive, yeah, than it is through the pngtuber program thing. Which is weird. You'd think it would be the other way around. Because there's like no filters or anything on that. I have thought about setting it up with multiple mics. Like using my headset mic with the program. I don't know for what purpose, but that is something you could do. So that the movement would be based on that instead of other stuff. The water noise stopped for a second. That was weird. It's very faint, but it's there. I want to clean this hole, at least completely. I know we got the ones up top, but you have to start with a good one. You know, this is... You need the first hole to be clean, so when people come in, they don't immediately walk out. Wait until they get to the second one for that. By then, it's too late. No refunds. Imagine complaining to the manager of a mini golf course. I'm sure people have. They for sure have, actually, because I've been kicked out of a mini golf course before. So let's never mind. Fun times. Everybody has been, though. I think that's like a rite of passage, is going and playing mini golf and just Happy Gilmore in it at least once, you know? If you say you haven't, you're either a liar or lame. No offense, but actually kind of. Live a little. Butterflies clean? They are now. That one is too. What is this thing supposed to be? A knight. Is there something in there? It's hard to tell. I'm losing my voice. Probably because I haven't done this in a week and a half. I guess looking forward, thinking about some upcoming streams, we still have plenty of stuff on the docket. We always do. Backlog never shrinks. Got plenty of theme things coming up and all that. Again, I don't know how much, if any, we're going to play into the Skulls for the Skull Throne thing. We usually do. But given that we had a Warhammer week not that long ago, like a mini one, just of my own volition, I don't know that we will this year. Especially because we'll be playing pretty much everything that got announced this year when that stuff comes out, so we'll be playing plenty of Warhammer things later in the year. Streams might be a little light, though, in June. I'm a little busy this month. I debated actually not streaming today. Quite tired. but I figured this was the time to do this because this is a pretty low intensity game, and even if I'm tired, I can at least talk, you know, cover some topics and things. Again, it was nothing serious, just kind of like my meandering thoughts about stuff. Not that the streams aren't ever not that, right? I think that's kind of the fun of the medium. It's just like I'm playing a game and also stream of consciousness. But games like this are especially good for that. Because this is monotonous. So I can just be monotonous too. Be. I will tell you though, if you're someone who, oh, no one else? I swear to God, it's just changing randomly on me. As far as talking and being monotonous and things, if you're terrible at public speaking and want to not be, honestly, streaming can help with that. Even if you don't have an audience, you will talk. Like you'll force yourself to talk and say things, and you'll just kind of naturally get better at it. Obviously, it's not the same as in front of people, but if you're better at talking just at all ever, period, then doing that in front of people will be easier later. Like you have cleared one of the, or at least improved one of your skills that's relevant to that. So I recommend this to people who want some help with that. Ugh. Terrible. Can't jump at all. Clean these rocks in the kiosk. Where'd that ladder get to? There it is. Can't jump when you have the ladder, which sucks. I mean, I get it. It'd be kind of weird if you could, but although, you know, no, what am I saying? This game isn't supposed to be hyper realistic. How is the kiosk still dirty? But where? Apparently this fence post is still dirty too. No. Yeah. On the inside. We did it. Okay, cool. Let's do the longer extension here. Get to some of the fiddly bits that are maybe a little harder to clean. How is the kiosk not clean yet? Okay, there we go. We got that. That rock. How about this rock? How about the rock? Come on. Oh, we did get that support. Okay. Wasn't sure if it... Just want to improve the front facade here so that when you look at the mini golf course, it doesn't look quite as bad. Can't believe they let it get this bad. Where's the dirt still on this? There we go. Okay. There's that. That's squared away. And that. Okay. Go with a shorter angle so that we can have a little bit more power behind it because we're doing longer range. So you have to balance range with angle to keep power. Getting to the end of the music, I think, right? Yep, this is the last song. Well then. I said it to repeat. But we're almost done here anyways. Not in terms of finishing this level, we're not going to finish this level. This was entirely too ambitious for one stream. I mean, it could be done in one stream, but not today by me. I'm a little tired. I actually didn't even intend on going this long. But then when I looked at the time, I was like, you know what? An even 2 hours sounds fine to me. This game is entirely too addictive. Let's get this other thing. What? When you're too close to things, you can't power wash. Or at least based on the handle length that you've chosen, you can't. Which makes sense, I guess, because you know this game is hyper-realistic. Back to the first song again. This is one of those things that's just kind of meant to loop, though. Like, it's all just kind of generic lo-fi beats. That's the whole point. It's just chill, easy listening, which is why I like it. I'm glad that lo-fi is a thing, and that it's gotten more popular over time. Just like retro synthwave and all that stuff. That's excellent. I wish glam rock would get popular. It had its time. And it was glorious. Maybe it'll come back then. Maybe a new generation will discover it and think, boy, this is dumb in the best ways. It's over the top and fun, and that's what it should be. Now I'm committed to cleaning the battlements here. So we're close. So close on this rock. Where the hell did this ladder keep getting to? It's still here. Exactly where I left it. Come on. The awkward, really quiet song. Or breaking the music completely. I don't know what it is. I noticed it the first time, too. It's back. No. Oh, we did clean all this, though. Okay, well, you know, it's... 80%'s not too bad. That's a B. A B minus, but still a B. It's passing grade in my book. I mean, literally, it's the expression, D's get degrees? Well, C's get degrees, but D's do as well, and a lot of institutions anymore. No comment on lowering standards of higher education. I have no horse in that race. Woe to anyone who does that. So we get all those? We did. Okay. Tops of these rocks. Still some dirt on this one. I don't quite see it though. Ah, that'll do it. Okay. I'm gonna put this here, so it's just kind of out of sight, out of mind. And we'll survey all of our hard work. This area is all done. Of course, you can check the menu as well to see what we've done. We've done quite a lot. Castle tower windows. One of those is not clean. There we go. This part takes a while. So, and the windmill certainly does. But yeah, we got the hardest sections. Did good work at Castle Mini-Putt. I'm proud of me. And you should be too. But if you're not, it doesn't matter, because like I said, I am. And that's the only thing that matters. I hate that I know I'm going to have to finish this for my own peace of mind. Oh my god. This game is addictive. This game is so addictive. Oh my god. That is not a joke. I really think that someone should be tried for war crimes for making this game. It's just this shouldn't be this addictive. It just shouldn't be. Can't stop, won't stop. Anyway, now we will end it for there. We did some good work, I think. Yeah. Well, this was Powerwash Sim once again. Keeps getting updates, which is good, because this game is fun. I enjoy it, at least. I hope other people do too. I hope you enjoyed this stream, my ranting and rambling about various topics. Whether you were here live or you happen to watch it later on down the road. Hope you got something out of that, I don't know. If not, I hope you got something out of the power washing. I sure did. Talking and cleaning is cathartic. But anyway, why did I say it like that? Anyway, until next time, as always, have a good one.